This is a boring old flip phone. This thing's pretty basic. You make calls, you send texts, and that's all it can do. Great for the bare essential. Wait a minute, this thing runs Android. This is the MIVE Style Folder 2. Coming straight out of Korea, it's a modern flip phone that just so happens to run Android. Is there really any reason for a device like this to exist today? Well, let's find out. The first thing that you'll notice about this device is that it's big. Like, comically big. This thing is huge. It looks so ridiculous when I put it next to my head. While closed, this device is about the same size as an iPhone mini, which is fine, but when you open it up and it's basically two phones stacked on top of each other, that's when it starts to get a bit ridiculous. On the left side of this device, you have your volume buttons and a SIM tray. Not only that, this has a micro SD card slot, which can't be said about many modern devices. On the bottom, you have a USB-C port, some charging pins that you can use for a dock, and a speaker. On the right side, you have a weird hybrid of a power button / SOS button. This phone is kinda designed for old people, so that is a handy feature to have. You can also assign it to other functions, kinda like an extra macro button. It's pretty damn cool. And next to that, hallelujah, it's a headphone jack. While the phone's closed, there's an outer display that shows the time, and also your steps. And nothing else. That's all it does. I mean, it also shows the battery percentage while you're charging, so that's handy, I guess. But I haven't really found a way to show notifications on the cover screen. It's a little bit pointless to say the least. On the back, you'll find an 8 megapixel camera, which is located on the bottom half of the phone, which can be a little bit confusing when you have it open and trying to take photos. Flipping the device open, you'll find a 4.3-inch 480p display. It's not amazing by any means, but it's perfectly serviceable for most people. Plus it's got a touchscreen, which gets very handy when you get sick of using the buttons. Speaking of which, buttons. It has many of them. This phone's got all the typical buttons you'd see on a T9 device, like numbers, arrow keys, your answer and end call buttons, but it's got a few extras like the Android navigation buttons. So how do all these buttons interact with Android on this device? Let's take a closer look and find out for ourselves. Alrighty-o, here is the MIVE Style Folder 2 in all of its folder glory. And I will say, I actually do quite like the design of this. Even though it is just all plastic, I actually think it looks pretty clean. They do make a version of this in black too, which is the one I wanted. The inside of the black one looks really good especially, but you know what? I kind of like this two-tone white design. It's nice. Pressing this semi-power SOS button while the screen's closed gets you this UI where it just tells you the time and also your steps. Let's see how one-handable this device is. If I put my thumb in there and flick it out, oh yeah, check it out. This thing is huge. Like, I know I said this in the intro, but 1/2 of this is the size of an iPhone mini. It's crazy. Look at the difference. And then you got my Pixel 8 Pro here for comparison, which is already a pretty large phone. It's just wild. If the screen's off like this, you press this button and hey, it turns on. You can actually see the lock screen here. That's my time, and then it always tells you the time for Korea, because why not? Getting past the lock screen's easy. You just press this button right here, and then you type in your PIN. Once your PIN's typed in, you press that button, and hey, you're in. Let's turn off the lights real quick, because I want to demonstrate, ooh, the backlit keys. I didn't get to show this off on the F22 Pro because it had some custom modded software on there, but this time we've got the stock software installed. And it's actually really handy having the stock software installed because it handles the keys really well. You can see it has this custom launcher here that actually works really well. The button, the selector thing looks really nice and it just kind of works. We can flip-flop between all the screens. If we press 1, it opens the phone. But if we press 2, will it open up messages? Nope, it just opens the phone and starts typing the numbers. That's fair enough, I guess. That's how older flip phones worked. And then you press home. Lovely. This phone already has a much better button selection than something like the F22 Pro, simply for the fact that it has all the Android navigation buttons right here. Why didn't they add that on this? I mean, you got your back button, You don't really have your home button or your multitasking button. I had to mod that in myself, at least with the software that was installed on here. I'm not sure if the original software supported that properly, so yeah. But this guy, it's nice, easy, and simple. You got your home button, your multitasking button, and your back button, and they all work as intended. It's just great. Okay, but what if you didn't want to reach up like this in order to get the notification shade down? Well, luckily, there's a shortcut for that. If we press and hold the home button, hey, it opens up your notification shade. Same can't be said about this goober. And to make it even easier to use, if you just go down here and press open, you can expand it. That's actually really sick. They kind of thought of everything to make it actually usable with the buttons. Let's go into settings real quick, and you can see even the settings is optimized to properly work with the arrow keys. Let's go to about phone, and we can see here that this guy is running Android 14, which is actually pretty recent. Many other phones like this, like the Galaxy Folder 2, are stuck on ancient versions of Android. This is relatively up to date. Let's see if we can get the Easter egg in here real quick. Yeah, there we go. And then what happens if we press this button? Okay, it doesn't seem like it wants to work with the buttons. That's fine, we can just press and hold the screen. It's good that we at least have a touchscreen in case things go wrong. The vibration motor on this thing is pretty poor. Wow, look at that, we're zooming along. We can't control this at all with the buttons, so we have to use the touchscreen, which kind of sucks, but yeah, look at that. Does this not look like the future right here with this UI on it? Hell yeah. Okay, it's not actually letting me go out of here. If I press multitasking, yeah, there we go, we're stuck in the Easter egg. We can actually see how this works. I'm not sure if there's really a way to close this app. What happens if I... Oh, what? If I select here and then I press up, that's sick! You can actually dismiss the apps. I didn't even know you could do that. They really thought of everything. Good job, guys. You can also see that the security updates are also relatively up to date on this device. And between the time of me buying this device and filming this segment right now, I've actually gotten some security updates, which is sick. Taking a look at the other buttons, of course, the end call button turns off this. Everything's inconsistent. So pressing this button on the side here, does that lock the phone? No, it opens up this menu, which you can remap, and we'll get into that a bit later. That acts as like a back button, but not a lock screen button like other ones do. There's this button in the middle. I don't know what it says or what it does, but it has come in handy quite a bit often. There's been some times where I'm like, which button does this action? And then I press this one, and then it just does it. So this button may come in handy sometimes. I don't really know how to demonstrate it, but just take my word for it. There are some really strange things about this phone though. For example, there's no dark mode. I don't know how to turn dark mode on. The option is not in here. It's not even in settings. It just doesn't exist. You can't turn dark mode on this phone. There might be some workaround to do it, but I clearly haven't figured it out. Also, I cannot make the text on this phone any smaller than what it is now. It's very limited in the options it gives you some of the time. Let's try typing Frogfaduck in the search field up here. So if I press the wrong key, is there a backspace button? Maybe this magical button might do it. Hey! So this kind of works like a backspace button, a language switcher, and the back button all in one. It's definitely not confusing by any means. Okay, here we go. And that was pretty easy and straightforward to do. I really wish that you could just mash the center button here to like tap to select stuff. That would actually be kind of sick. Imagine it working like a double or triple tap where you just tap in there, hold, and you get a little menu saying copy, cut. That'd be great. This phone doesn't have that though. You can do that with your finger though. Yeah, something like this. Imagine if I double tap and held on this and then it came up with this menu. Can I go down? No, it won't even let me go down to select it. That sucks. Of course, you can always just type on here like a little mini phone, so that's kind of fun, I guess. Can imagine someone making a mod where they take this bit, move it up here, and now it's just a little mini Android phone, but also, why would you do that? It's a flip phone, that's kind of what it's built for. There's also some other creature comforts like mode switch here, where you can switch it into simple mode, and this is really good if you're an elderly. Look at that, now everything's nice, easy, and simple, kind of like an older phone. Look at that, you got your flash right there, boom, and now it's on. How handy is that? I could definitely see an elderly person genuinely being able to use this perfectly fine. This is actually decent. And look at that, you got a quick dialer here as well. It's just like an older device. It works. We got all apps here so we can see all the apps on our phone. Yeah, now this feels a lot more like a feature phone, but it runs Android, so you get all the benefits. And yeah, we can actually see here there's a quick settings section as well. So this is meant to be a simplified quick settings thing where you can quickly switch between your sound mode and your font size. It's actually styled like Material You as well, so that might make a few people who love Android design pretty happy. And then when you want to switch back to normal Android, you just go back to normal mode and then press OK. I think we should take a look at some of the pre-installed apps on this device. Okay, pre-installed apps on the MIVE Style Folder too. If we go into the app drawer, we can see all the pre-installed apps that would have come with this phone. I didn't delete any except for the Google app and Chrome just because they were kind of being annoying with Firefox, but here are the default apps. Of course, you got your standard ones, your phone, your messaging, blah blah blah, it's all standard. You got the Google Gallery, which is better than Google Photos in my opinion. Still not as good. Download Aves, that's a really good open source gallery app for especially Google Pixel devices because they only come with Google Photos. Google Photos sucks, man. Get Aves. Not mad. You got the camera, which does camera stuff and we'll get into later. It's fairly basic. There's actually really only two options, picture and video. No portrait, no nothing. You got your magnifying glass, which lets you magnify, which is really good if you're an elderly. Is this gonna be the Google calculator or a special calculator? I'm gonna guess a special one. Nope, it's just the Google one. CR Calc, maybe not. Ooh, we got a radio. Do we need earbuds for this one? Yep, we do apparently. But of course, I misplaced my earbuds, so I'm not going to be able to test out this feature, but either way, it's a radio. We saw simple settings a little bit earlier in the video, but we've got the pedometer, which tracks your steps. Wow, look at this. We can do the height, the weight, the gender, and the target steps. Hey, you know what? This is pretty close. The height is actually 165, and then my weight is actually around 60 kilos. We're actually around 64 right now, I think. I am literally 10 kilos heavier than I was like 2 years ago. Cool, now that that's done, if I press back, wow, look at that. Today's steps. Will this start counting our steps if we're just going for a little stroll? All right, here we go. Going for a little walk, and then if we're on the lock screen, we can press the button. Oh, look at that, 19 steps. It's counting. Look at that. It's actually counting. So this whole time it wasn't counting anything, but now that I entered in my details, oh man, it's going. Look at them steps. Let's start running a little bit, guys. All right, how many steps have we done? 80 steps? Damn, that must be like 2 calories. Let's open this up and see how many calories we've done. We're only an hour and a half ahead of Korea. God damn. Oh, apparently we burned 675 calories. Interesting. And we went 63 meters. I'm sure I went 63 meters just jogging on the spot just then. By the way, you should go outside and go for a walk. It's good for you. Do we get any more information except for, like, we can tap into that? Yeah, there's actually not much. This is a pretty basic app. Next up, we got a voice recorder. And hey, it's a pretty standard voice recorder. Why did it tell me to wait for a moment? That is very strange. We can pause and then we can say something really heinous, like some very offensive things, and then we can start recording and no one will ever know. Oh, look at that, we can save the recording, except I ain't typing anything on this, so let's go back to okay. And here we go, we got a recording list. Again, this is another thing that all the phone manufacturers make their own version of. They all do the same damn thing. Here we go. Damn, this is a customized voice recorder. We can pause our recording and no. Spoiler alert, the speakers suck, but we'll get into that in a moment. We saw what Mode Switch did earlier before with that more elderly focused UI. Next up we have Medi 2. Oh, this shit's in Korean. Oh, sick. Oh no, no. So this looks like a way to get your doctors and your pills. Hey, if you're an elderly person, this is handy. And that is what this phone is intended for. I wanna be a doctor. Let's be a doctor. Okay, well, I think we're just trying to look for a doctor. I don't really need one, nor am I in Korea, so we're just gonna ignore that. I'm also not going to turn on my location because why would I do that? Next up, we got the A phone. Let's have a look at the A phone. Please allow permissions. Oh, yes. Take them all. Use A phone as your default calling app. I don't really want to do that actually, but it's an alternative phone app it seems, probably for Korea. Likely wouldn't even work here. You can see this phone doesn't even work in Australia because it can't connect to any cell towers. See that little icon there? That's also because the Australian government IMEI blocks any devices that don't support Band 27 on Voice over LTE because of the 3G shutdown. We also have T-Word. Oh, T-World. I can't read, or maybe, I don't know. Make and manage phone calls. Allow. I don't know what any of this says, but maybe someone can translate for me. These are some phones. I could tell that's a Galaxy A17. I could tell it's a Galaxy S25. I can also tell that my light just ran out of battery. Yeah, this is very clearly an app for the telecommunication service that sells this phone. This logo also appears on the screen when I boot the phone, so that's pretty obvious. It doesn't really work well with the controls, so that kind of sucks. Let's see, I want to buy a Galaxy A17. No, I don't, but let's pretend that I do. Never mind, I can't. Wait, maybe I can. It's just really slow. We're about to get an image of e-waste on our phone. There it is! A Galaxy A17! Wow, this is amazing! Oh, there it is, Galaxy A17 with the Super AMOLED display. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video on the Galaxy A17 for some reason. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd rather buy a more interesting phone with that money. Well, that was cool, I guess. Let's go to the next app. This app here looks like a barcode scanner. Let's have a look. Maybe we can... Oh, T membership. This is probably for the SIM plans or whatever. This is the same logo that appears when I boot up the device, so... Here's some more stuff. Here's more advertising. Here's some Korean movies that you can watch. You could get an iPad Pro. You get a G car? A G car? I want a G car. How do I get a G car? G car. Alright, I think I'm figuring it out. G car. 0 day. G car. These are the years that no, it's not. How do I get my G car? I want my G car. Okay. I don't know how to get the G car, unfortunately, so that might have to wait a little bit. Damn, look at these snacks and that thing and other things. This is crazy. Is this an AI assistant? Where am I? I've entered the void of white screens. Log in with my TID. I don't have a TID, but this bit's in English, so... Yeah, I don't have a TID, nor do I really need one, unless maybe I go traveling to Korea. Of course, you got your standard Google stuff as well. You also get this thing, which looks like some phone protection stuff. Oh, it's probably complaining about Google Play Protect. I turned that off because I was trying to sideload some apps on here and it was not letting me do it, so... Yeah, whatever. We don't need to look into that one anyways. And apart from that, that's pretty much it, I believe. I don't think there's any other apps. There's also this folder in here called SKT. There's another app here as well. The One Store. Damn, this one's taken ages to boot up. I don't really know what it's doing. Maybe it's an app store. That'd be kind of sick. I could install some fresh Korean apps onto this guy right here. Or I can just sit here and wait for the next 20 minutes. That would also be really good. MAC address, Android ID, yeah. Have it all. I don't know what Nate or Never is, but I know what Facebook and Google is. I'm not signing into the T store. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, sorry. The One Store. I'm not signing into it. Well, as a phone, it does seem to do all the phone things relatively well. You'd hope so, at least. But let's really take advantage of Android on this thing. How good is this thing at media consumption? If you're looking for a device to get away from TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all that, this may not be the device for you. The vertical screen kinda makes this the perfect slot watching machine. Watching landscape content on this device is doable, except you have to hold it like this, which is kind of funny, and you might block the one rear-facing speaker that sounds like crap anyways. Have a listen. multitasking features that it provides. And not only that, it turns your iPhone into the jankiest shit show I have ever seen. This is an iPhone 12 mini, the phone that we're gonna be running iPadOS on. Now you guys may... Yeah, not impressive by any means. It supports 1080p YouTube playback perfectly fine, it does lag in some places, but this screen isn't even HD, so why even run it at that resolution anyways? Maybe if you want to watch it in 60 frames per second, but that's about it. You could also try propping up the phone like this. I don't know when this would be useful, but you can do it. As for web browsing, you can do that perfectly fine on this device, although most websites only let you scroll with the arrow keys, you can't really control websites with it, so a bit useless, but you got a touchscreen, so just use that I guess. Which kind of defeats the purpose for the buttons now, doesn't it? I would really like if there was an option for a cursor to appear on the screen that you can control with the buttons. I know some old BlackBerry phones had that option for their web browsers, and I think that's actually pretty useful for a device like this. But alas, the touchscreen exists, so just use that and hold the phone like this I guess. Let's take a look at the camera on the MIVE Style Folder 2. On the back, you've got an 8 megapixel camera, and on the front, you've got a 5 megapixel camera. It's nothing impressive, but let's have a look at it anyways. And those were some very average photos. Which is to be expected. For a device like this, the camera isn't the priority, it's just there because it's handy to have. If you really need a flip phone with good cameras, get a Galaxy Z Flip or something. That has decent cameras on it, and you can even position the phone to any angle to use it as a makeshift tripod, which this phone can't. Anyways, because this has a T9 keyboard, we need to play Snake on this thing. Let's go do that. Alrighty-o, let's play Snake on the MIVE Style Folder 2. In this folder here, I have a few versions of Snake that I've downloaded from the Play Store that actually work with the buttons. Most of them don't because, well, no developer's really expecting you to use buttons, they expect you to use a touchscreen like a normal phone. I couldn't install the version of Snake I used for the F22 Pro video because it complained about the app being too old. I know there's ways to get around it, but I couldn't really be stuffed, so we have these. We have this Snake game here. I don't know what it's called, it's just really called Snake to be honest. Of course, the menu in the game doesn't actually work with the control, so we're gonna have to tap the screen. But as you can see, it works! It actually works with the buttons. Although, if you notice, there is a considerable delay from when I press it and when it actually moves the snake. There's like a half a second delay. It's pretty bad and kind of makes this a little bit unplayable. Yeah, see, I tried to press there. Doesn't work. So that version doesn't run very well, but at least it takes up most of the screen. Let's have a look at this next version we have downloaded here, which is actually a little bit better. Old Snake game is trying to emulate a phone with buttons on it. Oh wait, I haven't found a way to remove the buttons on here, which sucks, but this actually works properly with the buttons on here. And yeah, again, I really wish I could get that version from the F22 Pro video running on here. It was perfect, it was full screen, worked with the buttons, felt just like an old game, even the vibration was perfect. Let's press new game, and as you'll be able to see, this run is instant, and it feels great. It's got this nice retro LCD theme to it too. I just wish that you could make the whole playfield bigger and just use the real buttons on here. You'd have these stupid things in the way. But yeah, that's Snake. We obviously had to do that because, well, look at the form factor. Next up, we have Minecraft. Let's see how well this runs. Oh, it's in landscape mode. We're gonna have to do this. I wonder if there's any way for these buttons to work with this game. Let's find out. Oh, look at that. The arrow keys actually change to the correct direction when it's in landscape. Amazing. Don't allow. Go away. Will it let me control this menu from the buttons? It does. Hold up, this might actually work really well. And here we are in the world of Minecraft. Let's see what we can do. Let's press up. Oh, what? No, what? I don't want to chat. Maybe keyboard and mouse. Maybe. Walk backwards. Hold on. Straight right. I might have figured this out. Hold on. Hold up. Holy crap. We're doing it. No way. Maybe mapping the jump button to that was a mistake, but at least we can go up and fly. Holy crap, I cannot believe it. Okay, it won't let us actually destroy anything. Oh, I see the problem. We need to enable the crosshair, because the way it is right now won't let us actually destroy anything without the crosshair. I know how to do that. Wait a minute, let's do full keyboard gameplay, because that might let me use the keyboard for mouse controls. Yes. Yes. It's trying to do the numpad, but we can remap that. Okay, it looks like that's... What on earth? Oh my god, it keeps trying to open up the keyboard. Stop, please. Okay, yeah, it's clearly not meant to do this. I'm gonna fiddle around with the controls for a bit and see if I can find anything that works. Alright guys, I have amazing news. After fiddling around with the controls, I've got it working. We can move around. We can... No. Alright, here we go. We're doing it! We're actually doing it! And then we can break. Don't mind me, we're gonna have to go to the inventory to get a single item. We're gonna have to select the item like that. Okay, here we go. Let's turn the camera. Look down. We're doing it! Oh my god. This is the most scuffed way I've ever played Minecraft in my life. We can even fly, look at that. We can fly upwards like that, whoops. Yes, we're doing it, look at this. It's actually letting us do multiple inputs at once as well, which is super handy. It's not the most amazing experience in the world, but damn, is it actually kind of decent. Look at this. No, it's not. It's not decent at all, but this is so cool. Look, I'm gonna attack the sheep. You can do that using the buttons. You can do this. I'm actually so happy that this works. This is amazing. Oh, I can play the game like this, have it on the side. If only I could move it up here, that'd be perfect. Wait, I have an idea. Go on here, we'll do freeform. Yes. Oh no. Oh no. The control's gonna be sideways, but this is just a little proof of concept. Wait! Oh my god! Because I put it vertically, look how it just starts working again. You can actually play vertical Minecraft. These buttons didn't get rotated, which is obvious. So if I map this correctly and then run it in freeform, I could literally have Portrait Minecraft playable only on the buttons. This is sick. This is like nothing I've ever wanted, but it's amazing. Either way, look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remap the controls to make it work for vertical play, but that's super easy. Look at that, it just works. Why does this work so well? There's probably a way to get the controls off the screen, but I'll figure that out later. All I know is that this is amazing. And finally, probably the best use for the buttons on this device have got to be emulation, specifically for the Nintendo DS. I have tried Melon DS, it doesn't run at full frame rates, don't even bother with that. Let's go to drastic. New Super Mario Bros, let's go. Alright, here we go. Did you know that if you press L plus R, you can make... I forgot that's a thing. Yeah, if you hold these two buttons down, you can actually lock the touchscreen, which is really annoying. I mapped this to be L and R, so we have to do this quick. L plus R. Gives you Luigi mode! Oh yeah! Go Ouija! Alright, here we go. We are now playing New Super Mario Bros. On the MIVE Style Folder 2. And as you can see, it's running pretty damn well, and having actual real buttons instead of on-screen controls makes this genuinely really nice to play. We're actually playing the game and not struggling with the controls. Look at that, we got the Mega Mushroom. Can we knock over the flagpole? I don't think we got there fast enough. Oh, damn it. Look at this. It's wall jump certified. My gauge on how well you can control New Super Mario Bros. Is how well can you wall jump, and I could say you can do it pretty damn easily on here. This is actually a really decent way to control the game. Even if the buttons suck, having real physical buttons is such an improvement over using the screen. By a long shot, it's infinitely better. Hey, wait a minute. This kind of reminds me of the Wii phone that's in that Future Consoles video. Finally, it's real. I mean, you can run Dolphin on here. Interesting. And just like a real Nintendo DS, you can close the lid, except Mario doesn't say bye-bye. If only it did that, then it would be perfect. And that is the MIVE Style Folder 2. A great phone for elderly people who need to run Android or people who love tinkering with weird tech. Not the most amazing phone in the world, but it's pretty decent for what it is, all things considered. Of course, you can make many more improvements to the processor, to the screen, to really anything, especially the speakers, but I think this is still pretty decent for what it is. My name is Frogfaduck. You can set it however you want, I really don't care. New videos whenever I like. Consider becoming a channel member like all these people on the screen have. You get some bonus videos, early access to my upcoming videos, custom Discord server roles, and your very own Minecraft server, all rolled into one. Starts at $1 a month. And yeah, that's about it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.